Hey guys, it should be a quick one today. I just found this great TikTok channel, Mark 450. I really want to check it out. It has a real 90s aesthetic to it, but really has like a nice action figure aesthetic to it. We'll see when we get there, but if you ever watched the movie Toy Soldiers, a lot of these AI characters that he's using resemble that. Now, I just thought that we would go through the channel, see all the TikToks, because the interesting ones are. Okay. So, I see what's going on. Maybe I see what's going on. We're getting a little bit of a retro vibe, a little bit of a 90s vibe. I don't know what the cat's doing though. This might, I might be digging into nothing here right now, because this might just be a whole bunch of cool imagery. Let's see. Okay. Get that. It's an old piece of technology frozen in time. Okay, I don't know what she's doing here. Hmm. This is interesting. This is definitely an interesting one. This kind of looks like, you know what this looks like? Spirited Away. Very interesting stuff, for sure. Sorry, that's my dog. He's finding a nice place to sit. Okay, we are nowhere near where we want to be yet. Okay, this is cool. What's this? No. Couple of people city plan. This is all fake. This is nice. This is definitely a nice aesthetic. This is definitely, I don't know what decade this would be. Pictures on the wall, CRT TV. This could be 80s, this could be 90s, really, quite frankly. It is definitely an old aesthetic. Okay. Okay. A lot of old tech. We're going to start just skipping past some of these. These aren't why I'm here. Is this why I'm here? No. They're doing like an amazing job with AI art. Let's see this. Incredible. And each video keeps getting better. Each video keeps getting better than the last. Okay, this is interesting. It's not what we want, though. Oh, that's very nice. Would we call this like a liminal space? Kind of in the middle of nowhere. This guy's walking forever. Of course, it's looped. Oh, look at this lady. Look at this guy. This is great. That. Let's go back to this guy here. That reminds me of the episode of The Office where Gabe is showing his horror movies and he's sitting in the back seat of Stanley's car and he's just recording Stanley the whole time. This is giving that vibe. Okay, that's not what we want. Oh, let's see. No, interesting, very interesting. Takeshi 69 coded, of course. Nice grills. Love that. Okay. Okay. Okay, is this something? Look at these faces here. So, we're seeing Mark here. What's this, October? No, it's before October. We're seeing Mark here starting to really delve into what he will later really heavily lean into. And the content that he leans into is better, obviously, after, because we're kind of getting away from the music. But that's later. I'm spoiling, of course. But I love these like big heads. They're like they're very memorable. They are very unique, very distinct. This guy here, the blonde guy, looks like Billy Talent. That white guy looks like what I imagine God looks like. That looks like Erica Kirk right there. That looks like Feminem. Uh, the, I don't know who this guy looks like. He looks like someone. I want to say Iggy Pop, man. That is tough. Being homeless is a real hard gig to pull off. Okay. Ooh. Is this guy talking? No. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna like be escaping music soon, which is so nice because I can't. What was that guy doing? Okay. This is great. Okay. Is this something? No. No, no. But average flexer. Honestly, average flexer. This guy might as well be a Paul brother. Oh my God, what's this comment? That's hilarious. I love that. Yo, let's go. Back in Ibiza partying. Okay. We do love them. Here we are. Nah, damn. Okay. So, this is where I'm getting kind of the 90s vibe. This big, cartoonish, over exaggerated, big mix of colors. Look how the color contrasts, the white skin, the red hair. Very interesting, very mascotty. North America really stepped away from mascots, and Japan is the best country to ever have mascots. Like they'll have mascots for prefectures, but North America used to have like tons of mascots. They used to have Wendy's. They used to have Ronald McDonald, the King. And now we're like seeing all the mascots that we used to have slowly disappear. I don't see the Hamburglar. The Hamburglar, quite frankly, should be 700 pounds with him stealing all that food. We saw in SpongeBob what happened when Squidward ate all those Krabby Patties. It went right to his thighs. Regardless, um, it's kind of sad. I like a mascot. What does Jesus say? You know what? I love you too, Jesus. Look at this guy. This guy's white. This guy looks like a country music star. I don't know if Jesus looked that white. Okay. That's like iced out Bezos. Beavis and Butthead? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so that's is this Beavis and that's Butthead? That's great. I I think I'd watch a show like this. The problem with like Beavis and Butthead, the show, obviously, is that half the episode is like some music video from some hair metal band that I've heard on the radio a million times. Like Beavis and Butthead could probably have gotten as big as King of the Hill, both made by Mike Judge, if like it was just consistent content of like new original stories. Like one of the great movies in cartoon history is Beavis and Butthead Do America, where they're traveling all across America. I think they have like a bomb or something, and they're going uh, with that lady who is trying to seduce them to work with her, but then her husband is trying to convince them to work with him. And there's that famous roller coaster of love scene. I wonder if that was a callback to the show and the long music videos that play in it. But regardless, I really think that Beavis and Butthead would have been able to get quite far because in that movie, you have like these great scenes where they go into the high school and they steal the audiovisual equipment and then they get kicked out. They got that old guy who looks like Hank Hill. He might be Hank Hill, but they never call him Mr. Hill or Hank Hill. But like he's bald, Peggy's there, and they're just messing around. You know, it was real funny stuff. Let's see. I don't know if this is copyrighted. Let's see. I'm not monetized. I don't think it'd be that bad. Okay. I go on TikTok. I see Watch Mojo. Um, I'll see Watch Mojo do a full screening of a movie. It's really insane. Oh, they got the whole movie here on YouTube. Okay. I'm gonna open that tab. I'm gonna open that tab. And we're gonna open that tab. Okay. So we have the school. scene, of course. Okay. So, Tom Anderson is. Okay, so this is Peggy, quite clearly. And that's Hank Hill, obviously speaking. So, that's like a fun little Easter egg for fans. This movie is so good. Oh my god. And then there's this scene. I think Butthead gets a little bit of caffeine, and then he does the whole cornholio bit. Ah, right there. See? Boom. I am cornholio. I need TP for my bunghole. Take me to your leader. I don't know if he says take me to your leader. Great. Hilarious scene. Now I got this. What's this scene? Okay, so this is the bounty hunter. They work for him because they're dumb. I forget exactly how it works, but they get tricked into it somehow, and then they get tricked into working with his wife. So that's a great scene there. And then this is the scene where you're supposed to think like, oh, they met their dads because Beavis and Butthead grew up without any parents. Now check this out. Check this out here. That's obviously Butthead. That's obviously Beavis. Obviously, obviously. So, anyways, all that to say is like if they made a show like this and then they took out like all the music video aspect to everything, you got one hell of a show. Even if you want to go back to like the 2D animation, I think Beavis and Butthead is a great IP that could stand. If Daria could stand in the 90s, maybe the 90s was a good time for Daria, but if Daria could stand, I think Beavis and Butthead could run. Quite frankly, I think they could sprint. Okay, what's this? No. Interesting. But see, like, the designs are getting more and more exaggerated. The user is learning how to, or Mark, I'm sorry, I'll be specific. Mark is learning how to put in better prompts or something. I'm not quite sure how Mark is doing it, but Mark is getting a nice step away from the realistic look, and he's going and making his own genre. Oh, that's unfortunate. Hey, you know what? Damn. 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 Damn, I know this guy. Who was that? Is that Bowie? Or Bowie or Robert Plant or something? Yeah, look at this. Look at this. Okay. Oh, is this it? No. Very interesting stuff. Now, I've never been to that city, but I've never seen anyone like that before on YouTube. Okay, what's this? Interesting. Oh, this is cool. Okay, stepping back into the realistic art again. This looks like some kid, some like Disney character. Is this a Disney character guy? I'm quite not quite so sure. Look at that computer. Look at that guy. That guy. That guy's the evil billionaire everyone's talking about. That guy looks like Sumner Redstone. Ooh. Jesus. Is that Twitter? Is this a political statement about how foreigners, aliens, have infested Twitter to make it X? Look at that. Bro, these guys clean up. Look at these guys. You know what? Quite frankly, these big rock heads, they kind of look like an exaggerated form of Italians, like Italian mobsters. Look at that guy. All you need is Pesci and De Niro. Look at this guy. Ooh. Damn. It's kind of like Poppy. It's kind of like Poppy. Remember Poppy? Worked with that guy who worked with Mars Largo or Argo or whatever her name was. And Poppy, she made music. Baby, you're the highlight of my low life. Remember that song? It's just like content that's supposed to make you feel uncomfortable and confused. I love it. I love getting pushed. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. That guy's Paulie. That guy is Big Lips. That guy's Marco. That guy's the Don. That guy's Luka Bratsky. Look at this. Is this like a weird Popeye? No. Okay. We're nowhere near. I don't think we're anywhere near where we're supposed to be. Look at all this stuff. This is wild. Oh, Jesus. What? Oh my God. They're great. Wait, wait. Okay, I'm sorry for the loud volume. We're gonna have to fix that even when we find something. Damn. Jeez. Oh, hell yeah. Look at that guy. This is like it's like something you'd find in like a knockoff Marvel. They're the Midnighters. Oh, perfect, perfect. Okay, I think we're here.
Everybody has this one uncle that promised you a car when you were 12 years old, but he never gave it to you. He wakes up at
Goodfellas.
6 a.m., drinks espresso like medicine, and somehow already smells like gasoline. He will speak to the whole table about conspiracy theories and gets kicked out after having a debate about politics with your aunt. Somehow, even every one of your friends knows your uncle better than his own brother. No one really knows what his job is, but somehow, he always has money.
Okay, so they're definitely leaning in. So this is a little bit different than what I saw prior on TikTok. They're definitely leaning into the Goodfellas aesthetic. This voiceover, this AI sounds exactly like Ray Liotta. Very beautiful. Now, oh, okay. See, yeah, this Ernest guy here said Ray Liotta. The stuff I was seeing a little bit different. I like this though. You know, and Ray Liotta has a great voice, so it does not hurt to use that as the model.
Everybody knows this one guy who can fix anything. You ask him for some random object, and of course he had it in his trunk. He starts off his day by drinking a liter of coffee out of a jar and straight up drives to your home to repair your toaster. He has only brought a hammer, but somehow still repaired it. People don't panic when something breaks. They just call him. He just looks at it, thumbs up, and says, 5 minutes. You don't even pay him. He'll just ask for a beer and leaves the place. Everybody.
Bro, I had someone very personal in my life who was like this. These people are so incredible. And you know what? They never say no. You know, this specific archetype, they may throw a little, you know, temper tantrum or something, but they're still there. At the end of the day, they're still coming by. This is a really nice, real nice person to have around in your life. Now, are you seeing the exaggerated features on the face here? Big muscles. I mean, he almost looks like a plastic action figure. You know, let me just get a picture of how I was thinking of. Just an exaggerated action figure. I love it. This guy, I believe, would be a good... Ah, okay, perfect. So the Gorgonites. Ah, perfect. Okay, so we have a picture. So like here's what I'm thinking when I'm watching these, right? Like they kind of have like the same skin texture of this purple guy here. They got like the wild exaggerated faces like the rhino and this guy and that guy. These would be great toys to have if you're a toy collector. Imagine all the stuff you could do with this. Look at this guy. What's that guy's deal? He's got no arms. But again, like even this guy, can I zoom in? No. I probably could, but we're not gonna zoom in. This guy here. So we got a lot of like exaggerated features. Like he, you know, he looks like a normal dude. This guy is not a normal dude. So this is like what I'm seeing. This is what I'm feeling when I'm seeing this. Where look at this guy. This guy's ridiculous. But look at that. He he actually has like one, two, three, four, maybe 6 points of articulation. That's pretty good. That's not too bad when just talking about the legs. But like, this is definitely the vibe that I'm getting. Okay, you got these are army guys here. You got the Sarge here. You know, when I was coming up, whoa, look at all that. Wow, that's crazy. Anyways, when I was coming up, I always imagined this guy is like Lieutenant Surge from Pokemon, the Lightning Gym. Just kind of gave me the same vibe. But anyways, that's what I'm seeing when I'm watching these TikToks. Okay, let's go next.
Every small town has this one guy.
Hell
The
yeah.
whole police station knows his name, but he still does crimes on a daily basis.
Damn.
If he's not in town, he's in his garden shed, smoking and watching TV. Sometimes you hang
He's
out
got
with him,
pirate
and he either
earrings
wants you
on.
to borrow him some money, or he tries to sell you something.
He's got
that he stole.
grandma's
He
earrings
owns
on,
3
bro.
cars that are all broken in their own way, but
Yeah.
you still see him driving around all the time. Every small town has
And the cops are always stopping him on some BS, like, hey, let's say Mickey. Hey, Mickey, your lights out. Hey, Mickey, you sped a stop sign. And this Mickey guy's always getting jammed up while he's trying to get business, buying more grandma
this one
clothes.
guy.
Let's see what he has.
The whole police station knows his name, but he still does crimes on a daily.
Look at this. This is ridiculous. You telling me this isn't 90s coded, bro?
You grew up with this one friend who
Hell
was a walking
yeah.
red flag. He always called you over because he has a plan, but in reality, he just played too much GTA. And whenever you two went out in public,
What?
he had zero shame. He laughed at the wrong time, said the wrong thing, acted like the whole city
Bro.
belonged to him.
Bro, TikTok brain rot, Fortnite brain rot. Look at this. Bro, everyone under what? Everyone under 25 makes this face. Everyone under 21 lives this face. This is crazy.
And every time you told him, bro, I'm not doing this, 5 minutes later, you're in some abandoned building. You grew up with this one.
And then you're like you're asking yourself too, right? Like, who is the stupid person? If I'm following this guy who I know is a fool, and I'm still following him, even though I know, I mean, come on, you know the rest of the sentence. I don't even have to say it. I will say it to be polite. You're the fool. You are the clown. You can't be following fools, or else you're a fool. And like, so like sometimes I'll watch Financial Audit, and I'll see like this dumb guy, and like we all know he's dumb, you know, game recognized game, you heard? But we'll see this dumb guy be in charge of the finances, and then the wife's like, I don't know what happened. I don't know. I'm the smart one. My boyfriend doesn't work. He's a loser bum. I don't know how we lost so much money. It's like, come on. Come on. Who's the dumb one here? They're both dumb in that case. And in this case, this kid this kid was pre-brain rot.
Every wedding has this
Hell
one guy.
yeah.
He's not even related to your family, but you just call him uncle. When he arrives, he talks to your father as if they were brothers, and suddenly, his song is playing. For the next 3 hours, he's on the dance floor showing off. At midnight, he becomes a philosopher, talking about some advice he won't even follow himself. But here's the funny part.
That's
Nobody
hilarious.
knows who invited him. He
That's
just
hilarious.
appears. At every wedding. Every wedding.
Okay. The philosopher point, so funny. Follow or gives you advice that he won't even follow himself. Hilarious. That is so crazy. Because I'll tell you what, I do the same thing. I'll tell everyone what to do, and I'll tell everyone what to do, and I won't do a thing myself. But the most important part here is if you have someone on the dance floor dancing for like 3 hours at your wedding. At my wedding, I had a couple people like that. Those people are such great people to have. They're, quite frankly, an asset to the whole situation because nothing sucks more than having a dead dance floor. Maybe your soon-to-be spouse saying no at the altar. That could suck. Let's see.
Everybody knows that one friend who lies about everything for
Yes.
absolutely no reason. He lies about the most stupid things just to be more interesting. The one day he talks about the girls he meets all the time. The other day how his uncle is the president. Even his father won't believe him anymore. It can be the truth, but it sounds like a lie. Still, you can't stop hanging around with him, right? Everybody knows that one friend who lies about everything for absolutely
Deeply flawed people. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Let's see. Everyone is so jacked, bro. Yeah, they are all just crazy proportions.
Your childhood had its own
Bro.
mythology. There was this one guy who always screamed at kids just because they were having fun. He was the villain in your story. Your special agent mission was either
I didn't know
retrieving
that.
a ball from his garden or using it as a shortcut. Growing up, you always saw that one graffiti. Nobody knows who painted it, but it's legendary. You also remember
No.
that one friend of your dad who just seemed like a mafia boss. He came to see your dad, but it just felt cool to be around them. Your child
Um, nothing really hits for me here. I mean, the mafia boss thing. That's gonna be
felt cool to be around.
that's gonna be the friend who doesn't have kids, same age as your dad, has like 5 cars. Is that cool? You know, as an adult, it might not be as cool.
You all know
as-
that one person
when
who
you were a
never
kid.
says goodbye. You were just talking to him and suddenly he turns around and goes away. You think he's joking? Nope, he's going straight home. It doesn't matter where
That's
you're at.
evil.
You're chilling on a parking lot with him, and in a blink, you only see his rear lights. In the
That's
cinema,
crazy.
you watched a movie with
That's
him,
so
and as you
rude.
look to your left, gone. You tried calling him, but it's better to give up. You all know that.
Oh,
one
he doesn't
person-
even answer phone calls. Like when he's done, he's done. He's leaving the whole situation. Okay. This is just Russia. That's crazy. That is so wild. I hope I never meet someone like that because that'd be so confusing.
You dated a girl and this was her father. As you
Damn.
stepped into that mansion, he didn't shake your hand, he analyzed you. She always said her dad has a special job. Turns out that guy runs half the city. Meeting her family didn't make things better.
Ooh.
Each one of her uncles looked at you as if they already
Oh, hey,
planned
wait,
doing
wait, wait,
something.
wait, wait. I know this guy. I know this guy.
Each one of her uncles
That guy, he got a promotion. I had no idea that this guy had a promotion. This is him, right? No, no, I can't use that. Are we seeing this? Him right here. Did he get a little bit of a promotion, a little bit of a glow up? His head grew a little bit. Okay.
looked at you as if they already planned doing something to you. But the total end boss was her mother. You knew it was over.
Jesus.
You dated a girl and this was her father.
Bro, that mom looks like
you
she's
knew it
from
was
what is it? Like Spy Kids? No, it's Shark Boy and Lava Girl. That the French teacher or whatever, or the math teacher. That's crazy, bro. Big face. Okay, a little Sopranos action.
You had a job interview, but this was the CEO. As you saw the building, you knew something was off, but the security guard who somehow knew your name made it even weirder.
What?
Every level had its own boss asking you about stuff like your bank balance,
What is this?
family tree,
Tower
and
of the
even your
Dragon?
browser history. Once you reached the CEO's office, you gave up. Maybe cleaning toilets forever isn't that bad. You had a job interview, but
What are you giving up on? All those people look so rich, bro. Look at these guys.
as you saw the building, you
Look
knew
at that
something
building.
somehow knew your name made it even.
You're telling me that this guy isn't making 60,000 a year just being an elevator attendant in this freaking building?
You knew something.
Look at that. And it's all owned by one company? No shot. No shot. You got it.
You just woke up to this guy, realizing
Jesus.
you're in the Stone Age. Even though he looked aggressive, he tried showing you.
Look at that. Look at this, bro.
He looked aggressive. He tried.
This looks exactly like a plastic toy. I love it. And this head particularly, this has like the look of a mask. So you got a mask on top of a toy. It's just like toy on toy on toy. I love it. What a
Tried
great
showing
design.
you peace by pointing at a rock with a face on it. His brother is just an older, even dumber version of him. Their wives, 2 piles of mud. Just when you thought it couldn't get weirder, their pets showed up. You don't even know what those things were. And then, their sister noticed you. There's no going back now. You just woke up to this guy, realizing you're in the Stone Age.
Is there no going
Even though
back?
he looked
'Cause
aggressive, he tried showing you peace by pointing.
because you love the
And
sister.
then their sister noticed you. There's no going back now. You just woke up to this guy,
Bro,
piles of mud. Just when you 2 piles of
are
mud.
they like I hope they're dead. I hope they didn't just like I hope they didn't just like start on the ground. If that makes any sense. I hope they didn't start on the ground. I hope like, they're mourning their wives and this is their grave.
You tried out a new gym, but it was
Hell
not
yeah.
normal. The trainer didn't greet you, he just pointed at the floor and said 200. After a 16-year-old monster warmed up with you, some guy from Dagestan walked up saying, "Spar." It was a command, not a question. Right when you thought it's over, a guy asked you to deadlift half a ton to open the lungs. The trainer said, "Come back tomorrow," but you never did. You tried out a new gym, but it was not normal.
Okay.
The trainer didn't greet you, he just pointed at the floor and said 200. After a 16-year
Look at that, guys. We're learning something today. What the heck is Dagestan? Dagestan, Republic of Dagestan, is a republic of Russia situated in the North Caucasus of Eastern Europe, along the Caspian Sea. Okay, let's get it better. Can we zoom out? Oh, I'm not gonna remember Dagestan. That's wild because I'm pretty sure Georgia is a part of Russia, right? And I think it said Dagestan is a part of Russia as well. So that's interesting. That that is a very
old
obscure
monster
place.
warmed up with you. Some guy from
see.
Dagestan walked up saying, "Spar." It was a command, not a question.
looks
Right
tough.
when you thought it's over, a guy asked,
Bro had let's see this face. Bro
Not a
had ground
question.
beef face. Like forget cauliflower ear, which he doesn't have. He just has a rock face.
Right when you thought it's over, a guy asked you to deadlift half a ton to open the lungs. The trainer said, "Come back tomorrow," but you never did. You tried
No,
doing a
can't.
night shift, but this was your supervisor.
Whoa.
Visiting that place at night was the worst thing you could have done. The guys you met on the shift were either just staring at you, asking why you're still
Average
alive,
factory
or straight
worker.
up
Average factory and warehouse worker. Based.
making you question everything in existence. You made one simple mistake and it was over for you. They made you meet him, and you
Damn.
knew you would never leave.
Bro, his name is Evil Boss.
You would never leave.
Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. I wonder if he's evil because of the name or what's going on. I wonder if that's a name from birth. My show is on. I love this. Exactly. Oh my god.
You tried doing a night shift, but this was your supervisor. Everybody has that one friend
Hell yeah.
who knows everyone. You're chilling in the city with him, and suddenly he daps up some guy you've never seen in your life. Even when you're driving around, he greets other cars all the time. Once you needed a mechanic, and he already called a guy who did it for free. You don't ask how he knows those people. You just accept that knowing only him is more than enough. Everybody has that one friend who knows.
Bro, it's true. It's like I know a guy for this. It's like I know a guy who knows guys.
You hopped on the bus like always, but this time you fell asleep. When you woke up, the bus
be
driver
useful.
dropped you off at a place you'd never seen before. Nobody in this city was normal. Some guy in an alley said he has a job for you, and right after that, some unk said you're his lost nephew. You tried talking to people for directions back home, but nobody gave you an answer that made sense. That's when you realized staying at Markville forever is your destiny. You hopped on the bus like always, but this time you fell asleep. When you
Oh,
woke up,
that's
the bus
us. Oh my goodness. I was on the bus? Okay. Scary. That's scary enough. I don't know about Markville.
driver dropped you
I'm
off
so
at a place
joking.
you've never
That was-
seen before.
that was a
Nobody in
joke.
this city was normal. Some guy in an alley said he has a job for you, and right after that, some unk said you're his lost nephew.
What does that mean? What does this mean? What does... Is that like... Is that a gay thing? Or is it like a kidnapping thing? What was bro trying to get out of it? Or maybe bro was just trying to get a friend and nephew is like a term of endearment.
You celebrated Christmas in Markville, but it was not normal. Some guy dressed up as Santa told
Look at this. Look at this, bro. This Mark guy is incredible. He said, you know what? I've done the AI thing. We're getting all that evil out. I'm learning, I'm practicing. He starts getting into these story times, and now he has his own universe, Markville. This is incredible. I kind of like this guy.
everybody that he needs donations for his broken sleigh. We all know why he needed that money. Right after church, some weird guy shakes your hand
Bro.
saying that he knew your father.
Is Markville the ghetto? Is that what all of this is? Markville's the ghetto?
He invited you to his mansion, and as soon as you saw the other guests, you knew this was a big mistake. You celebrated Christmas in You booked a hotel room in Markville, but it was not normal. Seconds after you entered the lobby, the receptionist already knew who you are. He gave you the keys, and eventually you found the room. You went for a walk at night, but the guests were all looking at you as if you're breaking a rule. In the morning, one of them stood in front of your door as if he already expected you. At this point, you knew that it's better to leave soon. You booked a hotel room in Markville, but it was not normal.
Oh my god, bro. Oh my god. You know what? This reminds me of those Ask Reddit story, or not Ask Reddit. There's a subreddit about horror stories. It's No Sleep, maybe it might be No Sleep, and they're like writing these stories that are just so not my style of story. Not my style of story. Okay. I don't know whose style of story these are, but like the whole idea of I went to go work at a hotel and I had to follow these 6 rules and I didn't follow one of the 6 rules and now the monsters are eating me. Like, oh my god. It's like almost a horror story of bureaucratic hell. Like, oh, make sure you feed the water, but you don't feed the water after midnight. And what do you feed the water? More water. If you feed the water Mountain Dew, it will turn into a monster. It's like half the story. It almost feels like a filler. I almost wonder. I almost wonder what would happen if they cut out all that stupid rule stuff and they just kind of just went for a shorter story. Like, short stories, they work. I know a great one I just recently read. It was my kids just got me a brand new bracelet for my birthday. After the car accident and being paralyzed, the only thing I could think of is Donatello, Nicole, Richie. Now, that's a 2 sentence horror story that just kills. It kicks booty, if you will. Excuse me, it kicks booty. Because the guy got a bracelet that said DNR, do not resuscitate. It was a really great story. So I'll read something like that, or even I'll read like another 2 sentence story. It is, I was the last person on earth and I heard someone knock on my door. Great 2 sentence story. So when you have like these great, very intricate stories just in 2 sentences, and then on the other side of the horror genre, you have make sure that you walk around with the ghost in the convenience store and do not offer them any help, but make sure that you're with them the whole time, or else more ghosts will come in. Like, you know what? I'm not playing your game, okay? I'm not even reading the story. I'm on a YouTube video, and guess what? Click, click, clock, clock. I'm on a different YouTube video. I will say, there's a YouTuber who covered a no sleep story. His name's Fresh. He's a Reddit reader. He did no sleep for this story. I believe it's No Sleep episode 1. And we might be able to review it. I don't know. No Sleep episode 1. He is reviewing this amazing story about 3 people who were invited into a time travel science experiment to go to the future. Really, really incredible stuff. And when you have when you have the knowledge, when you have like the aha moment at the end of how it all came together, because quite frankly, the story ended before the climax or even the rising action started. So the story probably ended at the end of the introduction to the premise of the story, and it didn't pick up until the conclusion of the story. Everything else, although it was not necessary, everything else was just further building upon those two peaks. It was really incredible. Um, yeah, it has to do with three people going into a shack to time travel. We might be able to review it at some point, but long story short, what a great horror story. And I'm looking at this, okay? I'm looking at this here.
He gave you the keys and eventually you found the room. You went for a walk at night, but the guests were...
This is exactly what it's like. Like, don't go for a walk at night. And then when the people eventually break the rule because they have to have some kind of conflict in their story to progress it, they're like, oh, the guests were just staring at
were all
you.
looking at you as if you're breaking
You're
the rule.
breaking the
In the morning, one of
rules.
them stood in front.
You know what I mean? It's I don't know if anyone knows this phenomenon. I'm probably just yapping out of my backside, but regardless, it's so great that a TikTok can evoke such emotion out of me. Mark, you're really doing great things.
You met a girl, but her family was crazy. Before meeting her parents, you met her brothers. One of
Nice.
them worked on a car.
Bros from Street Fighter, is that Gilly? Yeah, bros from Street Fighter. Street Fighter.
That clearly wasn't his, and the other one tried convincing you to do business with him. She invited you to her house to meet her parents, but as her father mentioned signing a contract, you knew that it's better to stop dating girls from Markville. You met a girl, but her family was crazy. Before
Bro,
meeting her
she
parents,
is
you met
so
her
gonna turn
brothers.
into her
One of them worked
mother.
on a... You met a girl, but
Look at this lady, okay? You see her?
from Markville.
That's her. Her right there.
From Markville.
She's her mother, bro. That's crazy. I wonder what happens to these people. I don't know if they get so dumb. I wonder what Crashbox is. Markville baddies are different. That's
You
hilarious.
wanted to buy a used car, but you didn't know the seller was a Balkan dad living in Markville. As you
Balkan
arrived,
dad.
he proudly showed you his new car, calling it his baby. Then he
Hell
brought you
yeah.
to the one you came for, saying that the mileage is negotiable. He didn't have any papers for it, but he swears that he bought it brand new 20 years ago. Eventually, you bought the car, but it doesn't run on gasoline. It runs on hope. You wanted...
That's hilarious. We went to go look for a. We went to go look for some kind of Mopar. It was like a big truck with a extended cab or something. It was old too. I want to say it's like a Ranger, but that's Ford. That's not Mopar. I don't know exactly what the vehicle is. It doesn't really matter. On the ad, it had 300 kilometers. When we got there, it had 720 kilometers. 720,000 kilometers, I'm sorry. It was so wild. Like, we knew it was an old car, but this car was like rotting. And we're like, where'd you get these pictures from? Where did you get the number from for the kilometers? It's absolutely wild.
You visited your friend, but his uncle opened the door.
Damn.
Inside, he asked about your dad like they were cousins from 2 weddings ago. Your friend wasn't ready yet, so Unc told you to move 4 tires to the balcony for air circulation. Then he made you sit and started talking about clubbing in the 90s and how you and your friend
Hell
had no
yeah.
real energy. He finally came down and you left with a shot of homemade liquor and a warning to never buy a French car. You visited your friend, but his uncle opened the door. Inside, he asked about your dad like they were
Bro,
cousins
does he
from
look
2 weddings
different?
ago and a warning to never buy.
No. I mean maybe his face drooped a little.
Your childhood had its own mythology. There was this one backyard and you didn't know who lived there, so you made up stories about who's inside. For your parents, it was a stick, but in your world, you found an ancient sword. You wanted to keep it forever, but lost it after a day. Every morning in summer, you heard that one neighbor mowing the lawn. You never knew his name, but he was always there.
I had the
Your
sword
childhood had
and
its own
the
mythology.
mower. Bro, I wish I lived in Markville too. That's crazy. Bro, I thought the Ed, and Eddie verse was crazy. This is like straight up out there.
You found an apartment in the city, but this was the landlord. As you arrived at the place, he showed you a toilet, but it wasn't. This shoebox is your home now, and you even pay extra for a view of a brick wall. Accepting your fate, you tried to get used to the room, but your neighbor already terrorized you, saying that you are too loud. At this point, you realized that you should have stayed in Markville instead. You found an apartment.
Bro, what the hell? We're out of Markville. Bro, this is crazy. Because Markville is crazy enough. And now there's like an extended city onto Markville. Man, this guy is doing such great work. I wonder what the lore is. I like, I'm sorry, I'm looking. Markville is tough. Exactly, Dexter. And that's coming from Dexter Morgan as well. Markville is tough. I love that. So, I'm just looking here. How interesting is it, like, from a writing perspective, that he is able to, like, just build this lore through just short stories about individual people's experiences? I really like what Mark's doing. I really like it. Weird core, surreal, perfect. Yeah, and again, right? Like, look at this. This is just so 90s coded.
You went out to explore the city and stopped by a store. As soon as you entered the place, the owner started advertising products as if he's live on TV. He was angry that you're only going to buy a water bottle, so you paid and left the place. Outside of the store, some weird guy asked you for change, and right after that, some street performer stole your wallet. Without money, you are now forced to find a job in the new city. You went out to explore.
I would hope so. How much money did he come to the city with? He got a new apartment. He comes to the city with what? Just a wallet full of cash? How much money could you really have in a wallet, quite frankly? And this guy's out here buying water. What's that about? Is the water in Markville not safe for consumption?
Or the
Jeez.
city and stopped by a. You're broke, so you tried to find a job, but
Hell
this
yeah.
guy found you first. He brought you.
And you know what? I really like that once we get to the city, we are having a consistent storyline now. We are just the main character going for that ride. Where earlier, testing the water in AI, testing the water in AI storytelling, development of Markville, and now we are just one guy, and this one guy is here in the city. I wish I knew what city it was. I saw a comment saying it was Windsor.
To a nearby alley and told you that he
Interdimensional
works for the
cable shows
important
on.
people. You thought that his offer is a bit sketchy, but you accepted because you needed the money. Suddenly, a black limousine appeared, even though he didn't call
Look at
one.
that building,
and as soon
bro.
as the car arrived at a giant mansion, you knew this was not a normal job. You're
He's gonna end up like his buddy's uncle.
one, and as soon as the car limousine
I gotta see
appeared,
this.
even
Look at this. Look at that nasty nostril. Listen, I got big nostrils too, but that's nasty. Jeez. Bro, imagine the hair. I got quite a bit of hair coming out of my nostrils. That could be like a full braid. Okay, well, it looks like. Let me just take these off. Oh, I got a bad glare. It looks like with Mark, we're going to be seeing a whole bunch of great developments. Mark 450, getting the name right, underscore, is really like honing in on his craft. Now, I'm curious. I'm very curious to see. Maybe I should look at the comments, but I really don't think the comments will answer this. I wonder what this new storytelling experience is going to be like for Mark. Because as I see it, I feel like Markville was relatively untapped. I feel like there's a lot. I wonder if we're going to be moving back to Markville after we're done with this storyline. I wonder if this job actually gets us booted out of the town and then we leave Markville, well, the city. Now, I'm just looking at the city here. There's so many different ways to explore it. I almost wonder if it's worth not exploring the city through the perspective of other people. And then if we do go back to Markville, it could be better for us to untap everything out of Markville. And then maybe if we want to look through different perspectives, we can do it mainly in Markville, maybe a couple throughout the city, like a couple POV storylines. The problem is if Mark 450 here is using Sora, one, I mean, how long is it taking to describe everything? Two, oh, two, how is he cobbling up all the videos together? He's having a lot of consistency. As I understand, it's hard to have like a consistent picture throughout making movies. So, yeah, no, I'm so curious. Mark did a really great job here. I think Mark has something really special here. So, let's just see. Yeah, we should check this guy out. Yeah, it's really incredible. Now, I don't know if you guys are like into surreal core or weird core. Some people some people feel uncomfortable if anything past Skibidi toilets. So, anyways, I want to thank you guys for joining me for the video today. Make sure to check out Mark. Mark is a straight up freak. And this town, bro, I've lived in worse places than Markville, so I would say that visiting Markville would be quite a treat. I want to thank you guys again. Have a good one.